I mentioned the changes in pose were coming soon. That's what I'm doing now, using Transpose Master once again to essentially work on a proxy for those that are familiar. The pose is fairly simple, so it didn't require a ton of large changes. I've mentioned before that if you have a really extreme pose, like on my athletic girl sculpt, then you are typically best to start in that pose from the very beginning. When you're working on a character in a neutral state, like a T pose or an A pose kind of thing, I'm sure you're all familiar with that, and then you go to pose that character later, well, things are going to shift around a lot, and that can end up being a lot more work than if you just started in pose from the very beginning. It really depends on the character, but for this one, it was better to start symmetrically. And of course, even with something simple like this, some things are bound to break when I start posing. I make a lot more changes to the pose from here, including some proportional changes like the head being too large, but for the most part, we are nearing the end.